Hello, everybody. Good morning to you. How are you? I've been up this morning, took a nice hot shower, and I feel refreshed. And I'm ready to react to one of my favorite tarot readers on YouTube, Neo Tarot, because Neo Tarot posted a reading on Foodie Beauty about 10 hours ago, and it was quite interesting. Yes, it was. And hi, Neo. Hey, girl. How are you? So good to see you when you post anything, actually. You've done really great content on everybody, as well as Foodie. Little personal message for Neo before I get started. Neo, I've been meaning to get a private reading with you. I've actually been waiting uh, due to where I was at and the toxic energy. And now that I'm in a better place with better people and better energy, I've just been waiting for things to kind of stop shifting around before I get the reading. But I'm gonna get a reading from you real soon. And I look forward to hearing what you have to say in the private reading, as well as enjoying what you have to say for Foodie Beauty. So yeah, you're getting a reading from you real soon, Neo. It's just that it had to be in the right place and it had to be at the right time. So without further ado, let's get into the reading about Foodie from Neo Tarot. And I encourage everyone to check out Neo Tarot and her channel. She does really wonderful content on Foodie, on Salah, on Natter, but more than just Girl World. She also does a lot of great readings on actresses and actors and celebrities and even places, which is awesome. So check out all of her content. Look down below in the video description for the link for her original video. And also while you're there, check out the rest of her channel. Give her a sub, give her a like, give her a comment. Tell her how much you enjoy her content, because I sure do. I always have a smile on my face when Neo does post a reading. So let's get into what she has to say about Foodie today, because I'm going to have my thoughts too. So let me just go ahead and pull it up. One moment, please. And here we go. Talk to us, Neo. Tell us what's going on.
It's the secret book. And that's how spirit will karma. There she is, right behind you the whole damn time, right? In the shadows, just wait. Darn complex. I'm done with work. Can we meet up?
Girl, you have so many decks, and so do I. And I love your decks, by the way. You guys, so many wonderful, unique decks. I love that.
I'll see you in court. So there's a lot of things that she's hiding and or, again, keeping secret when it comes to him. Rigged games. How does Jay-Z currently feel about Beyonce? Hey, y'all. Hey, let's get into this intuitive reading, this intuitive message, this tarot card reading, tarot card message for Foodie Beauty. This reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. Sometimes the tea is hot and sometimes it's not. You have to watch the video to the end to determine for yourself. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're always here, welcome back, friend. Hey, Rose.
Hey, girl.
I hope you're doing well. I know you told me that you moved, and so I'm just sending you good vibes, okay? All right, so Spirit.
I appreciate that. And yes, I did move. I'm sure you can tell by watching this react that the background is different behind me. Much better place. I'm around some really good people, a lot of clean energy here. And like I said, I'm going to get a private reading from you in a little bit. I've just been waiting for things to stop shifting around, but
Spirit is acknowledging that she's coming up short in the area of love. Okay, these pants is not fitting, baby. All right, and you can't even buckle them here up in here. So just sending you love and light, because I know that that feels uncomfortable. Like Spirit is acknowledging she's very uncomfortable in this situation and in this energy right now. Okay, her heart is being trampled and stepped upon. What's the stamp for? Okay, what is the stamp for? Where are you going? Anyway, I do see this wilted flower here, acknowledging a love is lost. And I do see again that there's obstacles in the heart chakra, delays and or obstacles, and that you're coming up just a little too short in the area of romance, and that it's being communicated upon that you've become too big for your britches.
you know, that could be taken several different ways. That card, the too big for your britches. Unfortunately, Chantal is gaining a lot of weight. She's gained a lot of weight. She went to Thailand recently and she just went wild with the food. I mean, she for 6 weeks straight, she was eating tons of takeout. She was just going wild with the edibles. And so the too big for your britches card, that, yeah, of course, yes, it could mean arrogance, vanity, self-importance, being high and mighty, modesty needed. But it could also mean maybe she's just gaining too much weight and it's affecting her health. It's affecting her body. The rose behind it, what am I getting from that? Lack of vitality. That's what spirit is saying to me right now. Lack of vitality, lack of health. The wilted flower means, like it's not, a wilted flower usually means it's not getting the right nourishment from the soil. It's not getting enough sunlight. It's not getting enough water. So maybe that's an indicator of bad health, along with the picture of too big for the britches. She's doing too much, and she doesn't need to do as much when it comes to the eating. She needs to slow down. She needs to just tame it down a bit. uh it's you can take that card so many different ways. I could spend all day on it, but yeah, the wilted flower to me, it feels like uh a flower that's not doing so good. It's not dying, but it's not healthy either.
We're filled with arrogance, vanity, self importance, being high and mighty. Thank you, Spirit. Modesty is needed. Ashe to the ancestors, Ashe to the universe. What does she want to say to Salah energetically? She's acknowledging that this is a crazy, windy road. This is the path that she's chosen with him, and or vice versa. At any moment, you can get off of this crazy road if you want to, but that's your choice. Good choices equal good karma, and bad choices equal bad karma. Okay, so enjoy the journey.
Okay, I'm sorry to stop you, Neil. I hate to stop you. I hate it. I hate it when you get rolling. But how far we've come, the road, picture the road card. I keep hearing in my head, like her saying to Salah, look at all that we've been through and look at all that we've done and how long we've been together. Using that as, I want to say it's a bit of manipulation. Like, we've been together for so long and we've done so much and we've been to so many places and kind of relying on that as a sort of, that's why you should stay with me, because I've been around you for so long, and why let this go now? And Chantal will use anything that she can to hold on to somebody, even if the somebody she's holding on to is not good for her, even if the situation itself is not good for her. She's not ready to let go. She will pull out everything from the closet. She will pull out all the stops to hang on to that person. And that includes going to them and saying, well, we've been traveling down this road for the last 2 or 3 years and look at all that we've done. And do you really want to let this go? I mean, just using the journey itself and the time spent around that person as a sort of manipulation, because she's very manipulative. Very, very manipulative person she is.
Buckle up. This is the university of the universe, okay?
Mhm.
Spirit is also acknowledging that she's trying to put her boats into the water when it comes to Salah. A lot of boats, okay? Trying to find direction. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? Which way do I go? I do see water, acknowledging that this is a water sign and or could be emotional for her, but she's seeking fulfillment when it comes to him, enthusiasm, following bliss and money, passion projects, and doing her.
Okay, again, sorry. The boats in the water card. I just keep focusing right now, Neil, on how the boats are all over the place. That the boats are not facing one direction. You got a boat over here, you got one here, you got one here. There's a sense of like, which way do I go? I can go left, I can go right, I can go in front of me, I can go behind me. There's no sense of real direction. Putting boats in the water. But again, another thing that's striking me this morning is there's nobody in the boats. And how that's hitting me right now is you got boats in the water, but there's nothing to steer them in any one certain direction. It's just the boats are just being put there. Like you come up with ideas, but there's no plan. There's no actual solid plan. It's just, let me go ahead and just throw some boats in the water. But there's nobody steering the boats. There's no oars in the boats. They're just in there. And that is so Chantal. She comes up with ideas, but there's no successful follow through with what to do with the boats. Okay, I come up with an idea. Okay, let's put that boat in the water with nobody in it and nothing to guide it. No compass, no nothing. Let's just put it in the water. And the boat's just going to sit there and drift along, because I keep getting a sense of boats drifting. Like the boats are drifting there. Like wherever they go is where they go. But there's a sense of like drifting. You're drifting, but you're not going anywhere. You're just drifting along the water. It's Spirit is telling me passive chaos. It's not raging chaos. It's passive chaos. It's quiet. It's almost silent, but it's chaotic. It's loose. Spirit is saying loose. It's very loose. It's not tight. It's not going any place. It's just a piece of driftwood on the water, and it's going to float wherever it's going to float, but there's no sense of direction of where it's going to go.
Spirit is also acknowledging that she needs to get grounded when it comes to him. She needs to get rooted. She needs to return to her family. Spirit is acknowledging, how's your mom and them? Like, thank you, Spirit. Are you going home? Not my business, not my problem. Spirit says that.
What's interesting about your reading, Neo, that I also watch and react to another tarot reader. Her name is Melissa Gold Tarot. And why I'm bringing up Melissa Gold right now is she did a reading recently mentioning the mom energy, that perhaps Chantal is talking to her mother, or mother's trying to talk to Chantal and maybe urge her to come home. So isn't that interesting that you yourself are doing a reading right now on Foodie, and you're picking up that mother energy? And another tarot reader that you don't know, you never talk to, picking up that same energy. So maybe Chantal is talking to mom, her mother, and mom is trying to urge her to come home, to come back to Canada, reconnect, get healthy, get clean. Like maybe the mom is concerned, and she should be concerned because things are just at a breaking point right now. But it would be beneficial for Chantal to connect with her roots instead of running from her roots. Connect with her roots, because I'm getting a message right now, like when Chantal left Canada, she not only pulled up all of her roots, she was running from them. She was escaping for some reason. Like she thought she could just turn a page and have a whole different life and a whole new identity and a whole new image. And yet that has not been beneficial to her. She does not want to go home to Canada and reconnect to her roots, but it would be to her benefit if she did. All of this running to another place to be with a guy and just trying to forget about your roots and escape your roots, it's not a good thing. Not in her case. You got to reconnect to who you are and where you're from. You got to connect with your family, and get nourishment that way. I keep saying she needs nourishment, because it's just trying to be somebody else in another place with another person. It doesn't love her, doesn't care about her. It's just, there's no nourishment there. She is essentially starving. She's starving for a lot of things. And I know people that watch Chantal, like she's 500 pounds. Like, how could she be starving? It is possible to be 500 pounds and be starving. If you're not eating the right foods, you're not getting any kind of vitamins or minerals or whatnot out of your food, you may be putting bags of garbage down your throat, but you are starving. Your body isn't getting what it needs. But beyond the physical, there's the emotional, there's the mental, she's starving there as well. Like she's hungry, hungry, hungry. And eating the wrong foods in mass is not going to fill that void. It is not going to make her feel satiated. So she needs to go home to find the nourishment, connect back onto the family tree, get grounded. Because where she's at right now, I keep seeing desert. There is desert over there, but it's also a desert for her because there's no nourishment in it. There's nothing in there for her to grab onto or grab to.
She needs to have some form of reunion.
Yeah.
How does Salah currently feel about Foodie? Thank you. He's acknowledging it's raining cats and dogs. That this is a temporary intensity, that this too shall pass, but it requires release. It requires a cleansing. It requires surrender. I do see water, could be a water sign and or could be emotional. There's also this energy when it comes from him on his energetic side, acknowledging that when it comes to her, there's this energy of pot calling the kettle black, hypocrisy, projection, similarity, blame, introspection is needed. It's being communicated upon. He's also acknowledging that she has a big heart, and there's a layer energy. I thank you, Spirit. I've heard this before when I've read on her about her heart having heart issues, having an enlarged heart. Not my business. But Spirit is acknowledging it's filled with passion, be that passion for business and or passion for a romance, passion. And it's filled with friendship, appreciation, devotion, worthiness, caring, and playful teasing. But there's layered energy here. It's also an uppercut. It's a jab. Could you really be that slow? Could you really be that dumb? Like you're seeking all of this and you think that this is going to fill your heart. You think that this is going to give you some sense of fulfillment, but it doesn't. Okay.
Nope. And I'll tell you why, because she excuse me. Pardon me. She wants love, but she is willing to accept the phony version. She did say long ago, all that a man has to do is fake love me and I'll give him whatever he wants. So she put that out there in the universe. She said to the universe, look, I want love, but I am so willing to settle for the fake version if that's all I can get. And the fake version is what she got. She got it because she paid for it. She literally paid for it. She put things in motion. She made some sort of contract, deal, agreement, business arrangement with Salah that if he played her on-camera husband, like walking beside her and acting as if he cared about her, that she would give him payment for services rendered. And that was the deal. And just like with her former lover, Natter, same deal with him too. She needed him for content. She wanted a companion, so she paid for him. And she thought she thinks with both men. She thought with Natter, and she still thinks with Salah, that if you pay a man to be around you, that after a while, he's going to fall in love with you. That if you spend enough money on him and you spend enough time with him, that somewhere in it all, real love is going to show up. And it never has. She should have learned that lesson with Natter. She didn't. So life and the spirits are trying to teach her the lesson again. They're sending her to summer school. They're saying, okay, you did not get it. So you got to go for some extra classes. We're going to have to put you in summer school. You need some extra lessons. So she's repeating the same pattern with another man and treating this other man as a sort of get back at her ex. She's trying to get back at him. She's trying to show him and everybody else on YouTube, look, I can have somebody around me, but yet we can all see through it. The love isn't real. And she's wasting her time. But because there's nobody else around her, it's a situation of, this is all I've got. Like this is the only one that's willing to put up with me. And he's putting up with me because I'm paying him. This is all I've got, but at least I've got something. I've got somebody with me. I can do this much. I can pay a man to be with me. You know, she set the bar. And the bar is, you can get paid if you pretend to love her, but you don't have to actually do it. And Salah just kind of jumped in and was part of the agreement. And just as she did with Natter, knowing it's a business arrangement, knowing from the jump it's a business arrangement, she got her feelings mixed up in it all because she wanted more. She wanted more than what the agreement was. And that's where all the drama came in. And it's the same thing with Salah. They have a business arrangement. It's a business relationship. It is employer and employee. And I guess she hasn't heard the old saying, don't poop where you eat. Don't mix business and pleasure. Keep it separate. Because if you try to mix the two, it's going to get messy. And it always gets messy with her because she tries to turn something that's strictly business into something personal and something real. At the same time, she's not acknowledging there are things going on with her that need to be worked on. Things with her hygiene, things with her health, things with her body, things with her mind, things with her emotions. She knows what she needs to do to fix herself. She's just not bothering to do it right now because she's got someone next to her. So as long as there's someone next to her willing to get paid for services rendered, as long as she's not alone, like she can kind of put it out of her mind that he's just there for the money. If she were alone, she might be more motivated to get herself together. But as long as she's getting a semblance of what she wants, you know, she's going to keep on keeping on.
Okay. I don't know why Sarah wants to say cat scratch your tongue. There's an energy of rebellion, fear, and unbalance when it comes to Foodie Beauty. Current energy. There's also this energy of rejection, ghosting friends with benefits. And this is because this relationship is tacky, cheap, foul, a lack of style, and distasteful. And someone is walking away. There's an energy of leaving, separation, ending, divorce. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I kind of feel that too, Neo. Myself and a few other people, tarot readers, even people in Girl World who are not tarot readers, we've all picked up that energy of like this thing between her and Salah, it's coming to a close. It's really coming to a close. And the energy that I pick up on Salah is he wants it over. He's just been trying to figure out for the longest how to do it without her going nuclear. Because Chantal is a very vengeful person. She always has been. And she's got an online presence with her channel. And she's that type that if you're in her good graces, she'll talk nicely about you on her channel. But if you spurn her, if you tell her no, if she doesn't get her way, she will make up lies and she will say the most awful things about you and smear you publicly. And I don't know what's going on personally with Salah. Maybe he's concerned for himself. Maybe he's concerned for the image of his family. Maybe he's concerned about the family name, because the family name in Kuwait is very, very important. I feel like he's been waiting for her to let go quietly and on her own. And that way there is no headache, there is no struggle, there is no fight. He's been waiting for that to happen. Thinking, oh, if her money drops down low enough and she's unhappy enough, she'll leave on her own and she won't blame me and she won't be fighting me and being vengeful against me. But the thing that he fails to realize is that when it comes to men, Foodie does not let go. She is the proverbial human black widow spider. And female black widow spiders usually kill the males. They eat them after mating. She finds a man, she entices him into her golden web of money, and they come in like flies. They get stuck in the sticky web. She wraps them up in silk, and then she starts sucking the vitality and the life right out of them. And she doesn't let them go until there's literally nothing left to take, and there's nothing more for them to give her. Or she might let them go if she finds somebody else that catches her eye and they're the new flavor of the week. But he's been waiting for her to let go. She's not going to let go. His first clue that she was never going to let go was all the way back when she was in Canada and she pulled up all of her roots. She did not leave herself a plan B. She gave up the Canadian villa. She gave up her roommate, Pete's. She gave up the cats that she had, most of her possessions, and she went all in with him. He should have known all the way back then that she was never going to leave. She gave herself no exit door. And she did that on purpose. Again, as leverage. By giving up all that stuff, she can then later on go to him and say, look at all that I've done for you. I gave up the place that I lived, and I gave up my pets, and I gave up my roommate, and I gave up that life for you. It's not about her sacrificing because she's found something that is strong and it looks good. It's about her being a narcissist and giving up things that she doesn't care about just to be with somebody and control them and manipulate them and guilt trip them with, look at all that I've done for you, and make them feel bad for it. But I don't think the games that she's been playing are working anymore. I don't think the manipulation that she's doing is working any longer. I think he's completely over it. He's tired. He's exhausted. He had a break from her for 6 weeks. And I think that break was something that he needed to clear his head a little bit and realize this is what life is like without her. I kind of like it. And I don't know if he's going to let go of it. But yeah, she pulled up all of her roots. She needs to go back. She needs to go back to the family. She needs to go back to her home country. She needs therapy, treatment of all kinds, medical treatment. But she's not going to do it because she's determined to hang on to this fantasy life that she created for herself that's really not so much of a fantasy because it's not fun.
Beauty, current energy. Spirit said, what you do in the dark comes to the light. That's not my business. Yeah, Spirit said that this is decaying under the surface and your strength is dissipating.
Yep.
You're becoming weak. Yeah. And Spirit said, this is the last minute changes. Something happened. And the clock says 11:41. 11:41. Okay. Behind schedule. So
I'm getting a message right now, Neo. The last minute changes that you speak about, Chantal is allegedly supposed to be going on a health journey. And I keep hearing in my head that everything was done on the 11th hour. Like last minute, the 11th hour, right before it hits midnight. I keep feeling like midnight was like, time's up. The time is up. Midnight, like when the clock strikes midnight, It's a new day and the time is up. So before she and Salah reach that point of midnight, it's a new day and let's just break this off and let's just separate and go our separate ways. At the very, literally the last minute, she made some promises. She said some things and said, oh, I'm going to change. Let me transform. I'm going to go on a real health journey. I promise. Like she threw in the Hail Mary because she had to. Like I felt that when she came back from Kuwait, Salah was angry. I felt his energy, Neo. He was enraged. He didn't expect her back so soon. She was supposed to be there a lot longer. I feel like he was angry about so many things. The anger was beneath the surface. I don't know exactly what he was angry about. Part of that was because she came back before she was supposed to. She wasn't supposed to come home when she did. And he was enjoying his time alone. She rushed back to Kuwait as soon as she could, but she wasn't supposed to come back when she did. And he was mad about that. He was real mad. And I felt that energy, it's not as intense, but he's not happy with her. And she knows he's not happy with her. She can feel him pulling away. She can feel him distancing himself. And she's doing everything she can to hang on to him in this situation. And I have to wonder if it's because not so much him, it's because she needs a place to stay, that without him, she wouldn't really have a place to stay. She wouldn't have a home base. But just throwing in the Hail Mary last minute to try to hang on to things as they are, Chantal herself has said she doesn't like change. She doesn't like it. She has said that change scares her. So if this whole thing with Salah broke apart completely, it's over. If she had to go back to Canada, that would mean a fresh start, but it would also mean big change. And she is just absolutely avoiding it.
So things aren't working out. What's going on, Foodie?
They're fighting. They're fighting. He is not happy with her. They're fighting. I'm sure he is not happy with all the money that she spent in Thailand and all the weight that she gained and maybe the bill from the hotel from the damages she caused. He's not happy about a lot of things. He's about at the end of his rope. I keep seeing a rope in my head. Like he's ready to let go of that rope. He's ready to let go. He's like, why am I hanging on to this rope? It's burning my hands. I see an image of hands holding onto a rope and the skin getting burned. He's like, why can I just need to let go of this. It's doing me no good. He doesn't like it.
Oh, Spirit said that sexual healing, you just trying to hold on to it.
Yep.
You're holding on to that sexual healing. Foodie, Beauty, and Salah. Holding on. There it goes again. But there's dead peacocks here. Death to something that was once beautiful. Death to pride. Death to ego. Now there's just a friend request. Can we just be friends? Can we please be friends? Foodie, Beauty.
I feel like she's basically begging him not to go. Can we just be friends? What do you want? What do you need? Like, I'll do whatever you say. I feel that from her. Like, Chantal's a control freak. She always has been. She's a narcissist. She's a control freak. She likes to be in control. But I think a lot of things have shifted where she doesn't have her power. She doesn't have her strength because she put herself in this situation with Salah. She gave up her home base in Canada. So she doesn't have the leverage to say, well, I could just go back home to Canada and screw you. She doesn't have those chips on her side of the poker table. She gave up those chips because she was so desperately visually in love with Salah. She was in love with the image and the fantasy of Salah. She was in love with the idea of being in love, but she did not do her homework on who he was. She didn't care. She just wanted the image, and she wanted this fantasy life, and she wanted to be with somebody, and she wanted to be able to say, I'm with this younger man. Look what I got. It's about bragging. I keep seeing bragging. She wanted to brag. I am with somebody, and look, it's a younger man in nanny nanny boo boo. Using it as a sort of flex, like a personal flex that relates to her self-worth and her self-image. She associates being ultimately feminine and worthy as a woman with being with a man. That if you're alone, you don't have as much worth. Wrong, but that's the way she feels. That is her idea of being the ultimate feminine female, is you got to have a man in your life. No, you don't. But that's a lesson she's going to have to learn too. But he has all the power right now. She gave it to him. She literally handed it to him. Don't go. Don't leave me. I'll do whatever you say. He was ready to walk. Absolute ready to walk. And that's when she started making all these promises about, I'm going to get healthy, blah, blah, blah. But, and I'm not being rude here, Neo. Again, like this, I keep seeing that card, the boats in the water, that they're drifting all over the place. You have an idea, but you are not doing your homework, and you're not doing your research to execute those boats going anywhere. There's nobody in the boats with oars to paddle them places. There's no motor in the boats to get them there faster, wherever they're going. They're just drifting without purpose. And that's what she's been doing. She's a boat in the water, drifting with no purpose, no direction, no structure, no discipline, no nothing. There's no compass there. And so the boats just stay in the water, drifting, 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 all the time drifting.
Beauty, current energy. I always get this child when it comes to her and Salah. Okay. There's an energy of fertility, there's an energy of pregnancy, manipulation, manifestation, and or pregnancy, which creates confusion around the energy of a child. Foodie and Salah. There's some transformation. Things are getting ready to change. It's not going to look the same because someone is completely changing how they appear, how they look. They're changing their environment. They're changing themselves. They're allowing themselves to go through this form of transformation because at the end of the day, they had 32 flavors anyway. If you thought you was the only thing that they was living, stop playing, spirit, loving up on, baby, use a fool.
So is the transformation for Chantal, or was it for Salah? Because the 32 flavors of transformation card, is that for him, or maybe it's for both of them?
Ooh. Which puts someone in this space where they have to have self-love and they have to self-reflect. Because you didn't love me anyway. Sure didn't. Sure didn't. You thought they did. Spirit said it was all a game. Okay.
Yep. They both playing games, Neo. They're both playing games. And a lot of people like to say that Salah is using Chantal. I say the games go both ways. I keep saying the image of a Monopoly board. They're both playing games, but they're not playing on the same board for the same reason. They both have their separate agendas and needs. So Salah's Monopoly board is different than Chantal's. And they only connect on one corner, and the corner is money. Like her monopoly board is funding his monopoly board. But they only connect on one corner. They only touch on one corner. That's it. But they're using each other for different things. Salah is with Chantal for money. That's obvious. He's there for money. He's there for comfort. He's there for an easy lifestyle, which her money provides. He can go out, do what he wants, have his freedom. What's she going to do? She's the sugar mama. And as long as she keeps giving up the sugar, he'll deal with her once in a while. So his needs are mostly financial. Her needs are, I need a home, and I've got this public image and I got to keep it up. And you're a part of that. You're an actor in my play. So I'm playing you to play a part. And also his part is to be around so she doesn't feel quite so lonely. Although he leaves her alone a lot. But every once in a while, she gets to talk to him and be around him. And for right now, that's good enough for her. There's a lot of misery and a lot of loneliness with Chantal, but every once in a while, he'll come around and do live streams and stuff with her. And for her, that's better than nothing. As long as she gets a little bit of something, she's okay. She's got a lot of frustration because she's not getting more attention. But a lot of that has to do with the way she conducts herself and the way she carries herself. And this attitude of, I don't care about myself enough to put the care in myself. And it shows. And it's a complete turn off to him. He's so not into her. But she closes her eyes to that fact just to carry on with the fantasy of, I've got this man and he's giving me attention. But they're both playing games. They're using each other. They are.
Foodie beauty, current energy. Okay. She's hooked. And she's an obsessive lover. She's dangerous, toxic, unhealthy, possessive, and karmic. And she's haunted by memories and flashbacks, trauma, and side effects. Current energy for Foodie.
Girl, you don't know how on the money with what you just said you are. Neo, you're not even part of girl world. You're not even a reactor, the audience, and just those cards alone, you just nailed Foodie. She is obsessive. She's a toxic lover. Yes, she is. She's been that way for years. Ugh. She grabs onto a man and she does not let go. And the spirits just pick that up. Like she is just stage 5 clinger, narcissist, obsessive, possessive, control freak. She don't like that word no. She doesn't accept the word no. You have to force her to let go. She's just that bad.
Love is on the brain. She's just daydreaming and fantasizing. It's in her head. It's like a butterfly effect. When you open your eyes, it's not real though. She's really into someone, good chemistry, great vibes, and positive. I'm assuming this is Salah. But Spirit is also acknowledging that she's a drama starter. She likes.
I'm sorry to stop you, Neil. I keep getting this. I'm remembering something. I remember all the way back when Chantal was with Natter during the whole Crackhead Olympics thing. And I remember one point, Chantal lied to Natter. She made promises to him that she was going to get him his own place. And at that point, Natter, doggone it, I'm getting her men mixed up. Natter, he didn't really spend as much time with Chantal. So to give more time with Natter, Chantal made promises, lots of promises. Oh, I'm going to get you your own place. Knowing full well that she could not get him his own place due to the money and also to her bankruptcies and her bad credit. But she made those promises to him. And because he was expecting that he would get his own place, Nader did spend more time with her for a very short while. You know, like they spend more time and I guess going around looking at places. And then when he found out that she lied, that it wasn't going to happen, he was furious. He was furious. So, how does that relate to what's going on these days? Well, Chantal is allegedly going on this transformation with Salah, allegedly going to take care of her health. I feel like that the two are relatable because here we go again, her trying to hang on to somebody and get more time with them. So let me just make whatever promises that I have to make that happen and to buy more time. I had this picture in my head, Neil, a while ago of Foodie, and it may seem kind of odd, but it works. I keep seeing coupons. I know that's odd, but just y'all follow me for a second. Coupons. What's with the coupons? I keep seeing this picture of when she reaches that point of we're on the 11th hour. Time's about ready to run out. She'll the empty promises are the coupons. Like she's going to say whatever it is she needs to say and do whatever it is she needs to do to get more time or to get more companionship or to get more love. Like those empty promises that have no follow through are her coupons. Okay, I'm going to trade this in for another month of your patience, another month of your tolerance. So you'll put up with me because I really need to stay here and I really don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave you behind. So let me just trade this coupon in and make a good appearance. Like I'm really going to do it. Like I'm really going to follow through. Let me just do the Hail Mary coupon. Here, I'm going to trade this in for another, say, 30 days of you putting up with me. So you will put up with me until you figure out that I lied or that I'm really not going to follow through with anything. So that's why the coupon thing came in. Like just reaching into that back pocket and, okay, what do we got to do? I got to figure out how to keep this person around for another month at least. You know, there's no real follow through. But it's like, let me just get to the empty promises just so this person won't completely walk away.
It's drama. Foodie beauty, current energy. Thank you. She's dealing with a dry desert, 31. For is significant. Is your life presenting you with opportunities that seem to yield nothing? Have your ideas dried up? Does it feel like you're on an endless journey through a dry, hot, lifeless desert? This card reminds you that there are times when you are meant to become resilient as you journey through harsher circumstances. You're being required to conserve your energy until, after consistent effort, you reach the oasis you're searching for. Consider the creatures that live in these conditions. They have adapted to thrive in spite of the outer environment. In a desert, thank you, Spirit, water, essential for life, can be found deep underground. Go deep within yourself now. Find your truth there. Shadow work. Let Spirit sustain you while you locate the real source. Whatever it is you're asking about will not be found in the conditions you are in until you move past the surface of things and choose to do the real work and discover the answers deep within you. It's requesting that you go within, that you do the shadow work. You answer those deeper thinking questions about yourself. Nobody else can do that for you but you. Okay? Your who, what, when, where, how, and why question about you. Okay? And it's not that it's a fact, but seriously, you're space and time right now where you're being requested to do that. Will you do that? Everybody gets choices. This may not seem like the most productive time, but looks are deceiving. This is the most important place to find what's truly right for you.
Okay, that before you pull that card away, Neo, like I was looking at it. and I didn't want to interrupt while you were reading about it, thoughts, you're right. Foodie would benefit much from the shadow work. And shadow work is hard. Anybody that's ever done shadow work, it'll tear you up. It's hard. It is hard to do that shadow work. To go inside, to go deep inside, go all the way down to the darkest places and shine the light and see what's going on there, see what is hiding there. It sucks. Sometimes shadow work sucks, but it's beneficial. And if you do it, you get much reward. Like whatever phantoms, whatever ghosts, whatever things that are troubling you that you're not thinking about, that you've pushed down or repressed, you can deal with those things. You got to face those things. They are meant to be dealt with. Pain, hurt, trauma. Pushing them down, repressing them, ignoring them, walking past them, jumping over them, flying over them. It never makes any of that stuff go away. It's beneficial when you can take your issues and you can sit down at the table with them and just have dinner with them, talk with them, discuss with them. Who are you? Why are you with me? Why are you still hanging on to me? Face them. Have a conversation with them. Running from them never makes them go away. But sitting down and having an actual dialogue and discussion with what hurts you, just meeting it head on, the reward is things don't hurt so much, or eventually those things get dealt with. But Chantal does not like change. And she's not holding herself accountable. And she's not living her life in truth. Even to this day, she's still lying. Even on her supposed journey, she's still continuing on the journey with lies. She's lying about her weight, still playing tricks, saying that she's 330 pounds when she's actually 550. So that by itself tells me that she's not on a real journey, because she's not starting the journey with truth. She's continuing to lie about herself. Again, there's no accountability. There's no responsibility. She runs from the truth of herself because I feel that all the things she's done and all the things she's said and all the lies she's told, if she had to face that mountain of everything that she's caused, it would overwhelm her. She would crack. Because there's just so much. Like to just open up the door and let everything in that she is guilty of. It would overwhelm her in a half second. But going back to the card, Neo, I was looking at it. The woman in the desert. She's walking in the desert. She's not looking at the sky above her. Like, oh, there's a sky up there. She's walking in this huge desert, and meanwhile, there was a building in the distance. She's just wandering in the sand aimlessly. Although there's a building on the other side, but she's not looking at it. She's not going for it. Just looking nowhere, going nowhere, a sense of being lost, looking off into one direction when she should be going another direction where the building is. And to me, that building represents home. Go home, Chantal. You need to go home. You need to connect to your roots. You need to connect to your family. You need to go back to your home, like Canada. You need to go back to Canada. Stop being so doggone stubborn and avoiding what you need to do. Doggone it. But to me, the building in the distance represents home. Home is far away, but it is attainable. You can get there. But you're too busy wandering in the desert, lost, when there's nothing in sight. There's no growth there. There's no nourishment. There's nothing growing in the desert. There's no life. There's no life in that desert. You're wandering in a place with no life, nothing to sustain you. When there's a building where you can see and you're not heading for it.
Shay, so you're dealing with this desert moment because spirit is hoping that it'll wake you up to understanding that you are the only person that can fix this.
Yep.
Okay. Because you're dealing with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, bad luck, negative external forces. You feel like you're out of control. Foodie beauty, current energy. Spirit is also acknowledging that you're sitting around like, I'm satisfied, I'm good, but your arms are crossed at the solar plexus energy and the heart chakra. So there's delays in your choices. There's obstacles in your choice. You don't feel like you have the choice, or you can make a choice. You don't feel like you can. And your obstacles in your heart chakra, delays and obstacles in your heart chakra, creating imbalance. Okay. There, you on the surface, you're saying, I'm fulfilled, I'm happy, I'm comfortable, I'm satisfied. But in all actuality, with the Ten of Swords, you're dealing with recovery. You're dealing with an inevitable end. There's an energy of a fear of ruin. With the Death card, something is coming to an end. And with this ending, there will be beginnings, but something has to end. There's going to
Again, so sorry, Neo. I am so sorry. Can I go back to that first card for a minute, please? The person sitting at a table with the cups behind. I can't help but think of something that I saw online quite a while ago. Some people are so broke, all they have is money. That's all she's got is her money and whatever the money buys. But the person, I'm sorry, Neo. I'm so sorry. I got to go back to that card so I can get a good look at it. The person is sitting with a table or something behind them full of cups. So the cups to me represent money. Pentacles in the tarot usually represent money, but for Chantal, the cups represent money. Cups are something that we use when we're dining, when we're eating. So that could be like an abundance of food also. But I feel it points to something financial related, like when it comes to just money. I keep feeling money. Like all she's got is her money. And like I keep hearing it in my head, look at what I've got. Like there's a sense of, look what I've got. I've got my money. Look what I've got. Like the Oceanside Villa. Look what I got. She's surrounded by what money can buy and what the money has bought her, whether it's food, whether it's the villa, whether it's Salah. Look what I've got. Ninny, ninny, boo, boo. Look what I've got. The showing off of prosperity. It's important to her to show off her prosperity as a sort of like bragging point. It relates to the image on YouTube and a sense of, it gives her a sense of self-worth. Look what I've got. Nah. Look what you don't have. Nah. But that's all she has is money and what money can buy. And then the person in front, the money is behind, the cups are behind, but the arms crossed over the chest, the heart chakra. So you're showing off the wealth. You're showing off the money. Look what I've got. Yeah. But you're hiding your heart. There's a sense of hiding the heart. You know, and I feel like the cups is deflection, using the surroundings, the glamour as a deflection, using it as deflection and distraction for herself so that nobody can see what's really going on inside of her heart. Keeping what's inside the heart, what's really going on, hidden. Let me just cross my arms over my chest so you can't see my heart. You can't see the emotional stuff. You can't see the reality of the emotional stuff. Nobody's allowed to see that. I keep hearing, I'm fine, an annoyed voice. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm in love. I'm fine. Denying the emotional hurt, denying the emotional reality, using the finances and the trappings as a deflection. Look what I've got. Well, Chantal, you can get an oceanside villa and you can get a paid for companion. You can have all the trappings, but it won't make you really happy. There'll always be that void inside of you, that hole that longs to be filled, that needs to be filled. It's an emptiness that you're trying to fill with food and whatever else. And whatever you do, no matter what you eat, it's never going to fill up because you're not filling it with the right things. You're not using the right cement. So the hole will never be filled. And when you don't fill up that hole, what happens? What happens? The abyss inside of your soul just grows. And that abyss will send you into depression, sadness, make you want to eat more, trigger out of control behaviors. All of us, anybody watching this video, we all have an abyss inside of us. Some have a bigger abyss than others. The trick is to know that it's there. And it's easy to be depressed, to get sad, and sometimes jump into it. But it's always smart to know that it's there and to recognize it, acknowledge it, and try to stay out of it. Stop yourself from going in. As long as she's got that void inside of her, really close to her abyss, she's going to keep going forth between the two, unable to get away from either one. So, yeah, you keep playing that game, Chantal. Look what I've got. Look what I've got. I got the husband. I got the villa. I'm making money. Nanny, nanny, boo, boo. I'm going on trips. But none of those things are making you happy. They're not.
You're dealing with an inevitable end. There's an energy of a fear of ruin. With the death card, something is coming to an end. And with this ending, there will be beginnings, but something has to end. There's going to be change. Second time we see transformation and transition. And what does this involve? The heart. Matters of the heart, releasing pain due to a painful separation, some form of heartbreak, grief, or rejection. Second time we hear rejection, and you're trying to be optimistic and you want to just find forgiveness in a situation. You're trying to be strong, but in all actuality, Spirit wants you to grow through this situation and actually go through it. Stop going backwards. Stop trying to, try again and try again. Be strong. Really go through with it. With this Leo energy, fire sign energy, okay? Find the courage. Find the patience. Have self-control. What's Foodie Beauty's biggest obstacle? Biggest obstacle. I read biggest obstacle in reverse. Recovery from financial loss is an obstacle, and spiritual poverty is an obstacle with the Five of Pentacles. Creating obstacles in the heart chakra. Money is falling out, and her boundaries are being trampled upon. With the Hangman in reverse, there's an energy of self-destruction, indecision, and delay are all obstacles. Okay? You won't allow yourself to grow and or go. Okay? Spirit is also acknowledging with the Two of Wands in reverse, throwing water on a flame in the area of business and also in the area of passion. A fear of the unknown is an obstacle, and a lack of planning is an obstacle. So if you don't plan, how do you know what you about to do next? So this is so crazy. It's such an oxymoron. You're afraid of the future, but you're also afraid to plan. Well, hell, it's going to be, fucked up, for lack of better words, excuse me, because you won't plan, and at the same time, you're afraid of the future. Like, what? I mean,
She's afraid of change, Neo. She has said outright, she goes, I am afraid of change and I don't like change. She gets wrapped in that toxic blanket of, I don't want to move. I don't want to change. People who are resistant to change, their favorite friends they got on speed dial are later, someday, maybe, tomorrow. They like to surround themselves with those friends because those are the kind of friends that'll let you procrastinate, let you sit on your butt and do nothing. They won't press you to move and do something. The people that she's got blocked on her phone are today, right now, this minute. They've been blocked on her phone for the longest. They are not on her friends list. She got them on the blocked list everywhere because those kinds of friends, which would be the most beneficial to her and help her bring happiness into her life, those kinds of friends won't let you sit still. They won't let you just sit around and do nothing. They're going to say, hey, let's get up and do something. Let's go somewhere. Let's be somebody. The movers and the shakers. She don't want the mover and shaker friends. She wants to sit around and do nothing friends because that supports her mindset right now and that supports her narrative. You become that which you surround yourself with. Always, everybody, everywhere. If you are a person and you surround yourself with toxic people, eventually you become toxic. If you are around hurtful people, at some point, either you're going to be hurtful or you're going to get hurt. If you're in an environment where there's negative energy, eventually you'll soak up that negative energy and you will reflect it. And the only way to change things is to change your environment. Change who you hang around, change your thinking, change your mind, change your soul. Negativity affects us all. It affects your body, it affects your mind, it affects your spirit, it affects your feelings, it affects your energy level. If you're surround too much negativity, you'll know it because you'll be tired and stressed out and ticked off. It'll suck the life right out of you, literally. So Chantal, as weird as it sounds, the abnormal is her normal. That's her familiar. And because it's familiar, and because it's a familiar that she's had for so long, she doesn't want to change it. Even though it's toxic and it hurts, she doesn't want to change it. Sorry, my cat got into the cabinet and couldn't get herself out. Let's continue.
I mean, I'm just stuck in this moment right now thinking like, what in the world? It's like I'm hungry, but I don't want to eat. Excuse me? It feels very self-destructive. That's self-destructive behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit is also acknowledging with the Ace of Swords, there's confusion, chaos, and a lack of clarity with Ace of Swords in reverse around this unified love, this partnership, this attraction, this relationship with the Two of Cups, which is creating a burden. She's taking on too much, and yet she's avoiding a responsibility for her choices in the area of business and also in the area of passion. Passion, but yet chaotic. Fire sign energy, throwing water on a flame. What's next for Foodie? Oh, okay. Spirit said this is what's next. Manipulation, abuse, and being a tyrant, okay? With the King of
Ooh.
Swords in reverse, with the Page of Pentacles, financial failure, loneliness, and loss. Spirit is also acknowledging the Queen of Wands, shy, aggressive, and demanding, okay? Spirit is acknowledging that this is creating some negative thoughts. This is also creating a lack of money, imbalances in the heart chakra, and boundaries being trampled upon. This is also throwing water on a flame. So it's putting out the fire in the area of business and also in the area of passion. You're too demanding.
I'm sorry, Neo. Sorry to stop you. I did a reading on Foodie recently, and I did my oracle cards, the Osho Tarot, and I pulled the miser card for Foodie because she is a bit of a miser. I felt like she's very stingy when it comes to her money. Very, 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 very stingy. So I could see her being tyrannical and manipulative and abusive with the money, like just not giving up that money because she's very concerned about herself, and she spends her money recklessly, just for self gratification, using the money for food and buying things on Temu and stuff like that. Like I can see that. I can see her just being a miser, and it's causing all kinds of problems.
You're too demanding. And
Yeah.
your focus on money is why you are here. Okay? You're manipulative because of money. And as much money as you have, you're still lonely. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like,
Again, it goes back to some people are so broke, all they have is money. You can't buy love. You can't buy real love. It's priceless in value. You can't find it in any store. I mean, if you could, there'd be no lonely people in the world ever. But it's just one of those magical things. Either it's there or it's not. And I know Foodie likes to watch my reacts, Neo. And she's 40, and I'm 53. And I'm going to pass along some knowledge as an older woman to somebody, even though she's older too. I'm older than she is. Something she don't know. There's the emotion love that you feel. But do you know what's extremely important to a real relationship, Foodie? It's beyond love. Love comes from it. Love is part of it. But this other thing, it's really important that it has to be there. You know what it is, Foodie? It's called connection. You've got to be connected to your partner. They've got to be connected to you. They've got to be plugged into you at the same time you are plugged into them. You feel connected to your partner. You care for your partner as much as they care for you. I can say with 1,000,000% certainty that Salah is not spiritually, emotionally plugged into Foodie. I see a picture right now of a wall outlet, and there's something that could be plugged into it, but the cord is laying on the floor. Like it don't want to be plugged in. It doesn't want to draw power from that outlet. It doesn't like the power coming out of it. Like that electricity is toxic. And it's saying, no, I'm good. I'm really good. No thanks. He's not plugged into her. He doesn't want to be plugged in. She is of no personal interest to him beyond the money. He's not interested in her physically, mentally, emotionally. It's a business arrangement, and it's all about the money, has always been about the money. He is not connected to her. Connection, Chantal, connection. Relationships should involve connection. You should feel connected to your partner. They should be connected to you. If there's no connection there, the love is not going to last. It will not, because there's nothing there to sustain it. finding a spiritual connection with somebody, it is so hard. It's so rare. Some people get it immediately. Some people may take a lifetime to find it. But if you're not connected to their spirit and they are not connected to yours, it will not last. And you know, as well as I know, Foodie, he's not plugged into you like that. And you're not plugged into him like that. Why? Because you are not for him. You deny that truth to yourself. You keep denying it because you want to live in a fantasy world, but you know the truth. You just don't want to admit it. You don't want to admit that he's not plugged into you. Never will be either. No matter how much money you have or that you give him, he will never plug in. He's not into you. He's into other people. It's just a business deal. Always be a business deal. You were just his golden ticket for an easier life. You upgraded his life in material ways. But material things do not mean an emotional reward. He's not for you. He will never be for you. And let's be real and let's be honest. You're not emotionally open to people right now. You're not spiritually ready for real love. You got to love yourself before you can be open to love another person. You got a lot of broken parts that need healing. And you got to fix that. Got to fix that shit. How can you love somebody the right way if you don't know what it is? And if you're broken and you got a whole lot of baggage, fix it all. You got to have the right energy and project the right energy and have the right mind space where you're not a mess in order for love to come. It's not going to come when you're broken and toxic and narcissistic and controlling and greedy, negative. It's not going to come. All you're going to find are people that are just like you. And it's always going to fall apart. So there's that. There's love, then there's connection. Got to have the connection as well as the love. Salah is not the one that wants to connect with you. He's unplugged. He doesn't all want to plug in. Let it go.
How you doing this all for this, and you're not reaping a reward? What's the benefit? What do you get out of this? This reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. Now we sit back and let the universe do what the universe does.
You know, you asked the question, Neo. You're asking, what does she get out of this? Well, for now, she gets a home because she doesn't have one back in Canada. That's number one. And number two, her being with Salah means that those of us that react to her, those of us that watch her, it keeps her from having too much egg on her face. Like, she's so afraid and she's so against the idea of ending this thing and going back to Canada. And all of us that were saying from the very beginning of this thing, he doesn't love you. He doesn't care for you. This thing's going to fail. As long as she keeps this going, she's avoiding the I told you so's that she knows is coming. So she's trying to preserve her narcissistic vanity. She don't want the I told you so's. She doesn't want the egg on her face. Although the egg on the face is going to happen regardless. It's just a matter of how many eggs are thrown at her. But wonderful reading, Neo. Really, really enjoyed it. Always enjoy listening to you, watching you. And like I said, sooner rather than later, I'm going to get a private reading with you because I got some things that I'm curious about. But always a pleasure, ma'am. Always a pleasure. So those of you that are here watching this react, y'all, look down below. Look. For the link for her video, check out her entire channel and all of her readings because they're always spicy. I like the spicy readings from Neo. So y'all take care and y'all have a good day. Bye.